What's going on, all you sexy Simbas? My name is Mason.
And I'm Alex.
I'm Sexy Simba. I mean Davis.
Hey, and welcome to Fantasy Football. Yeah, buddy. We have a lot to get through and not a ton of time, so we are going to get right to it. Welcome back, lads. We skipped yesterday, so we're cramming 2 into 1 today. Sorry for those of you who depend on us for your fantasy advice for Thursday night. Hopefully you played Deontay. Hopefully you played Derrick Henry. Hopefully you played
George Pickens.
Yeah. And I will say, even though my rankings didn't get put out before then, I had them all high. So
yeah,
pat myself on the back.
Except for the George Pickens thing, that was bad.
Actually, and Najee. Hopefully you could have played Najee too. Yeah. I actually had him as a flex play. So, Davis, rant away.
I'd love to. Why is Matt Canada still a thing? This man, I've been thinking about Mean Girls a lot. And we've all been personally victimized line. Matt was the offense coordinator for LSU once upon a time.
Oh, shit, really?
And put in so many motions in the offense that nobody knew what was going on. People would make fun of LSU because every time they do like the false, the hard count, and then all their heads would pop up and point over to the sideline because nobody knew what was going on. That's still happening, and it's in the pros. How did this man get a job in the pros? Mm-hmm. And the big news yesterday was that he was going to move down to the sideline for the first time in his career, and that was going to help communication with Kenny Pickett. So if your offense needs to be fixed by moving your offensive coordinator down to the sideline from the bird's eye view, we have much bigger problems, and that starts with Matt and ends with Canada. He needs to be off that team.
Fair enough. They look a lot better than they have, I will say. But
it's because he was on the sideline. That's what they were talking about.
They needed to get those cards with pictures of Nemo and stuff going for them.
That's when Michigan starts stealing your signs. We can't do that.
Man, having Deontay Johnson back really, really helps that offense.
Welcome.
So much better. Kenny Pickett hits Calvin Austin for that bomb. I mean, this is a whole different game. He underthrew.
I win more than $4 in DraftKings. I'll tell you that.
God, man, he underthrew him by 10 yards, and I was like, "What a terrible throw!" But yeah, all right.
Yep, Alex, fire away.
Yeah, dude. So either Will Levis be good or suck early. I need you one or the other because I had either the over in points and Titans win. So Titans throw a touchdown. I hit my parlay. Or I had Will Levis under 201 yards and a Steelers win and Steelers over 37.5. Under 37.5. So if he doesn't do shit at the beginning of that drive, I'm good. If he throws a touchdown at the end of that drive, I'm good. Will Levis either suck early or be good the entire time because you killed me on 2 different parlays, man. Thank God that the Spurs beat the Suns because they saved my night. But man, Will Levis, who are you? Are you the good Will Levis or are you the bad Will Levis? Tell me so I know how to bet you.
Well, he's played 2 games, Alex.
So far, I've seen both options.
You're good the entire game, or you're pretty good the entire game, and then at the end.
I bet the over on his yards. I bet the under on the total points. I bet over for Nuke, and I hit all 3 of those. And I was like, hey, the easiest one of the parlay is Najee Harris under his rushing yards. Nope, decides to have the best game of his fucking season and rushes for 69 where the line was at 48. And I'm like, what in the fucking world? How do you all of a sudden just decide to do? He did this last year. He might be a buy low, even though he had a decent game. I think you might be able to go get him. He and Warren both looked pretty good, and against a decent run defense too. So. Najee Harris did the same shit last year. He was horrible at the beginning of the year, and then he was a actual league winner at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, real fast, since we're talking about that. Tajay Spears, how do you get 5 catches and 4 yards? I had him over his receiving yards as a separate bet. I had him at over 19.5 receiving yards. He had 4 yards. He had the catches fine. His catches were fine. He had 4 yards and 5 catches. Unbelievable.
All right. Now we got that out of the system. Let's move on to some rankings, shall we?
Never out of the system. Let's do it.
Never out of the system. All right, I'm driving this one today. We've all had in-laws in town, and it's been crazy. So
Mason got his license back. Congratulations.
Say what?
You got your license back, so you could drive again.
Yes. Thanks for that terrible joke, so that we were
happy to do it. See if I can drive.
He is a father, ladies and gentlemen, so he's allowed to have it. He has his driver's license for that bullshit. Okay, let's start with running back, shall we? Kenneth Walker. This isn't crazy, but we had the difference between Alex and I was I had him at 9, Alex has him at 16, and Davis has him at 12. So a discrepancy of about 7. And right there, I thought that's interesting. We're not. I mean, you're starting Kenneth Walker, so it's not that crazy, but it was interesting little variance there. Alex, what you got?
Yeah, he's sharing the backfield now. They've never done this. Like, it's always been a one-person thing. I don't know if he's like kind of a little banged up or not or whatever.
He is. He was banged up last week. That's why they shared.
But Charbonnet looked good. And I think Charbonnet's going to get more and more touches. I think you're probably looking at a 60-40 going forward. I think that Charbonnet is going to get the more valuable catches. I still like Walker. I mean, he's still super talented. But he's more of a mid RB2 for me now going forward when he was like a smash RB1. Because I think that Charbonnet is a thing. And they get this guy McIntosh back next. They love this kid. He is a 5th-round rookie, I think. He was on IR half the season. And they will not stop raving about this kid. So I think you're looking at kind of a 3-headed backfield moving forward when you did have like one guy getting 90% of the touches.
I think this week, just to rebuttal that, or my take, since I'm on the opposite end, I think this week is going to be very interesting. If that is the case, if we see that, then if there's more of a split backfield this week, then I will concede and I'll probably start dropping him in ranks. But he was banged up last week. Charbonnet does look good, and I think he will get some touches. But if he's 100% or close to that, I think it still goes back to him having the majority of the carries. But this will be an interesting week. So I don't hate your take, but I'm wondering. I know that he was injured last week, and so they gave a little bit more of a split. So we'll see what happens moving forward. This is the week. This will be the week that hinges on that.
Yeah, you took my point exactly on that one.
Yeah, real fast. I know I just mentioned McIntosh. He's not activated from IR, but if he does get activated from IR, he plays. Really do watch out for him because they do not stop talking about this kid,
especially in
Dynasty,
deeper leagues and Dynasty.
Yeah,
if he's available in Dynasty, go ahead and get him and put him on your IR.
Okay, shall we move on?
Sure.
This is an interesting. We got a couple interesting ones here. Amari DeMarcado. I have him at 30, and you guys both have him at 23. You have him as like a low-end RB2. I'm more of a flex desperation play. I assume you guys think because he's got the backfield pretty much to himself. What do we have?
I'll jump in on that. I just think he looks good, man. I mean, he didn't get a ton of work in that game last week. They didn't get a ton of running work anyway, but he just looks the part. He looks like he's got a staying role, kind of like what we were talking about with Zach Charbonnet. And I kind of have a hunch, nothing to prove this yet, but it feels very much like we'll see Kyler Murray this week. I think that is going to boost the offense a little bit, open up a little of running lanes, because now you have that second running threat in the back, plus a deep threat in his arm. So, as a flex play, I'm kind of in on DeMarcado. And really, I don't understand why he didn't get any work that second week after James Conner went down. Like, he had a great first week, then didn't show up at all. Keontae Ingram got everything, and then he's had it the whole time. So they clearly like him.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree that he doesn't look bad. They're going up against Cleveland, who has been pretty good. The last couple games, they've been not as good, but still pretty good. And that's pretty much it. I just need to see a little bit more. He's not gotten a ton of run. I think he's had like one game of double-digit fantasy points. And I know we're talking about running back here and low-end RB2, which if you get 10, you're probably breaking into that mold, especially with all the injuries and buys this week. But there's just a couple guys I think I like more in that range.
Yeah. For me, it's just volume. It's volume for me.
Yeah, I wasn't going to put him behind Devin Singletary.
No.
Even though this is probably a good week to be a little higher on Devin Singletary. But as I was going through it, it's like I can't put him any lower than that because there's nobody else. Maybe a couple other people I could be talked into.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
well, that kind of...
And I think you're right. I think Kyler Murray is going to play because I don't think anybody's been elevated yet.
Yeah, he's right on the fringe of a lead back who, and the guys that I have over him are in split backfields or closer to that. So I understand, but we'll go straight into these two guys because we have discrepancies on these guys as well. This is perfect. Brian Robinson. You hate Brian Robinson, Davis. You have him at 34. And Alex and I have him at 23 and 24. So defend yourself.
Oh, I will. Speaking of defending, New England defense is solid, and I think it's gonna. I think that's just much more. It's just much more an air attack out of Washington now. Robinson's a good player. He's a talented player. I'm not taking that away from him at all, but he's just not gotten the work the past couple of weeks. Sam Howell's been really good through the air. You'll see. When we get to wide receivers, I'm a lot higher on Jahan Dotson. I think I'm ready to buy that big game last week. I don't feel it from their running game right now. And also just weird vibes out of Washington trading their whole defensive line. I'm very confused. I think they're going to be playing from behind, and I think that speaks to a lot of air yards.
Sure. I don't think that's bad. New England's actually not that great against the run the past 2 weeks. They've allowed over 24 points on average in the past 2 weeks. So that was kind of what I was like, oh, interesting. We could have a little bit more Brian Robinson. Yeah. And, he's the starting guy in that offense. Mm-hmm. And we're around that area, that the 23, 24 area he's still a lead back in an offense with a bunch of buys and injuries. So
yeah, ever since Judon went down, that defensive line hasn't looked the same. And I'm with you, Mason. That rushing defense isn't what it was with him in there. So I kind of like him a little bit better. It's still good. He's
just not getting the work, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
10 carries, 8 carries, 10 carries, 6 carries, 14 carries. His best game out of the past 6 was 13.6 against Atlanta and 13.1 against Philly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he hasn't done anything over double digits.
Yeah.
So well, that's the work, sure. But I just don't feel it in this game.
Yeah. No. I mean, he's fringe. He's a fringe guy for me, and that's why we have him at 23, 24. I just think 34 is disrespectful.
Well, his ranking's still pretty heavily inflated by 28.9 against Denver.
So when he goes against bad run defenses, that's pretty good. But when he goes against the Eagles and the Falcons' run defense, not very good.
Well, yeah, and that's why I think they're actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're the 8 in the past 2 weeks. They're the 8th worst run defense. So
I'm prepared. I'm prepared to be wrong, but I'm right.
Do you want to shot bet it?
Nope.
We have to do shot bets, goddamn. We all can't start being.
No, I know. I'm not scared. I'm picking and choosing.
All right, same area.
Can't do 5 again.
Going back to the Amari DiMercato, Brian. Some of us all have these guys kind of in the same area. I have Kareem Hunt over Amari DiMercato, and right behind Brian Robinson. So I have Hunt at 25. Alex has him at 20, and you have him at 35. Why do you hate Kareem Hunt, Davis?
Yeah, it's a lot of hate going on over here.
I know. You're so angry.
I just couldn't. There's just so much confusion in that backfield. It's basically a 3-headed monster between him, Jerome Ford, and Pierre Strong, him, of course, being Kareem Hunt. And you're so reliant on not just a touchdown, but multiple touchdowns for him to really be effective. This
one, I agree with you a little bit more. Or I could see your ranking a little bit more than Brian Robinson.
And this week, sure, should I have ranked him higher than AJ Dillon? Probably. I honestly think they're the same player at this point.
Dude,
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Dylan has 3 weeks of double-digit
I know.
touchdowns, man.
I have to start him this week.
13.6, 11.5, and 10.2.
But that's what I mean. It's and I'll blame myself too. Because
I mean, I hear you, Alex, but also
Yeah.
the numbers are there because I have Aaron real low. I have him outside my top 20.
who do you have low?
Aaron Jones. I think a lot of us.
Yeah. Something he's not right, man.
He's not.
He's not right.
But the thing is, he's still getting opportunities, but he just, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, should I have Kareem Hunt over Cam Akers? Probably, but I also think Cam Akers is taking that job fully this week.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. That might be top end to shop bet on that if we get to that segment.
I don't have him written down. I don't know what this. While look that up, the differences between our Cam Akers, and we can talk about it. But we're gonna move on.
Cam and Madison.
Cam
Or
you
Cam
said
Hunt.
Hunt. Yeah. Whatever that was.
Yeah.
Davis, I was with you with Akers, but man, Kirk going down, I just feel they lean on that Madison.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Madison is
so much unknown.
established. Yeah. He's also like he's the run blocker, pass blocker. Not run blocker,
Not
pass blocker.
Catcher, tell you that.
So he's been there longer. I think they just trust him more. I don't know.
Yeah,
Very fair. Very fair.
I gotta see it a week. I want to see one more week with the new quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't get me wrong. I have Madison very low this week. I'm out on him. I had him at 29. So I had Madison behind Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. So that's how I feel about him. And they also proved me right, though.
Hey, me too.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to some running back or wide receivers. We're going to start with one Chris Olave. I didn't look yours up, Davis, but look it up real quick for me. I have him at 20.
Oh.
Alex has him at 14.
12, baby.
You have him at 12.
This week.
So
All
I'm
these
the
air
one
yards.
who needs to defend. I absolutely hear you that it is primed that he could go off, but he's had this. I feel like we've talked about this before, that he's had these opportunities to go off against bad defenses. If you look back through his some of his games, I'm just like, when's it going to happen? I just don't think. Again, I don't know if they need him. I think they could run the ball. I think it could be another Taysom. I've changed my tune a little bit on this, but I think it could be another Taysom and Alvin Kamara kind of game. Yeah. I don't know if they're. I think they get up and they just run the fuck out of the ball, and they don't really need him. And Carr keeps not throwing to the middle of the field or in those intermediate areas. So he's not really. I don't know.
It's so hard to tell. Those are all very valid points. It just same thing I said last week. These are prove it games for the offense. This is like coaching for your job.
Absolutely. But like they keep getting the wins, or squeaking them out or being close. I just don't think they're going to need him the way that he just doesn't. I don't know. Yeah. I need to see it. I am A-okay being wrong on this. Because you're probably starting him, but I think there actually are guys that you can start over him if you're feeling frisky. And listen, you play to win the game. You play to win the game, and he gives you a great opportunity because he has a great opportunity and the skill is there. He just hasn't done it yet. I think his highest point total is like 16 to 20, something like that. Yeah. And it's been once
19.2 first week.
Yeah. So that's abysmal for where he's been drafted, man. He was drafted as a low-end wide receiver 1. He was like 12 to 14 range, and he's not shown that. And so I'm not willing to rank him that high until I can see it. And so until it's proven to me.
Yeah, very valid.
It's more like gut for me. It's like you got to get this guy involved. If you're not going to do it against the Bears, if you can't start Olave against the Bears, if he goes under 10 points. You can't start him anymore.
And that's the thing. Like I'm just hesitant because this is not the first time we've talked about this.
Now here's where I'm going to rebut that, and we don't need to spend a million minutes.
No, I think this is important though because he's a very, very polarizing player right now because he's not done it, man. He in the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the past 5 weeks he has 2 games in double digits. That's fucking shit, man.
Now. Counterpoint, this is just like the premier example of why fantasy sucks. because in the past 5 weeks, like you said, 2 games in double digits. He has had 6 and 5 targets in his 2 worst weeks, and then 10, 5, 15, and 9. The opportunity is there. The connection is not. And so is that Olave not catching the ball? Is it Carr missing him? That's what I'm saying. Like, you have so much opportunity, you have to roll it out.
Oh, I think you have to roll him out.
Like you said.
I think he's a flex, though. I think he's like closer to a flex than I mean, I still have him as a wide receiver too, but just barely.
Yeah, we just need Carr to look like a starting NFL quarterback, and he just hasn't looked like that in a while.
Yeah, against Jacksonville, he caught 7 of his 15 targets. Imagine if he catches 3 more. We're talking.
That's depending a lot on Carr being a competent quarterback, and he's just not been. So
listen, the car is sputtering. We know that.
Car is stalling. Yeah,
2 in a row.
Drake London rolled out. Sorry, guys. Breaking news.
Bummer. See, I actually had him decently high because I was true to my word that if Heineke came in, I felt differently about him. But it's unfortunate that he's not. But I also do have Jonnu and Pitts higher this week because of him. Mm-hmm. I think Pitts has probably a really good game now.
I know. I put him in my top 10. First time this year in my top 10.
I have him 11, and honestly, I'll probably move him up now with this news. I'll put him over Cole Kmet.
No.
I have 11 too.
Yeah, I think he's top 10 play, and it sucks because I'm playing against him. Fucking Brett holds on to this schmuck this entire time, and the 1 week that he finally gets a competent quarterback and Drake London goes down, he's going to play him against me, and he's going to have 2 touchdowns and like 160 yards. I'm okay. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Davis. Where do you have Tee Higgins?
Well, I'd love to tell you I didn't rank him, but I have him at 37.
Ooh, okay. Glad This is wild, bro.
So low on all these guys.
7. So Alex has him at 17. You guys have him 20 spots different.
All right, explain that to me, Alex, because currently he's ranked 59 in total points for wide receivers.
Yeah.
And he has 1 game over 11.9 points. And he only has 2 games in double digits. Why? Like, why are you having top 20?
I think he's getting healthy. After the bye, he's getting healthy, and that offense is clicking, and his quarterback is healthy.
Right. Cool. That's basically it.
Yeah, but why? But still, what? Okay, great. You still have Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon looked a whole lot better last week. I ate my words on that one.
Yeah.
It is very clear that Tee Higgins is the odd man out. And he was last year, too.
I mean, it's a great offense, can support more than 2 guys.
Sure, but have they?
They have it all year last year.
This is the prime. I want to see it. If they come out and he puts up 15 points, great. I'll move him to top 20.
Yeah.
But I'm
kind of in the middle. I'm at 25. I think he's trending in the right direction. I have him as a flex play, and I think 37 is a little disrespectful. But if you look just at the numbers, Davis, I think you're right. But I think it's more nuanced than that. He has been injured. They came off the bye. Mm-hmm. He actually got decent target. He had 6 targets last week. I think he had 11.9 points, 69 yards. So like one of those goes for a touchdown. We're looking at a different day.
We're looking at a shootout too, I think.
And this is the game of the week for sure.
He had 6 targets. Jamar had 12.
Yeah.
All right. Your number 1 receiver had double the targets of somebody that you're putting in the top 10. It's like
17
or top 20. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I'm probably too low on him. I
think Alex is too high, obviously, because I'm right, not right in the middle. I think Alex is expecting a lot from not giving a lot of information, but I think you're a little low.
Yeah,
I mean, we spent so much talk about we need to see it for a week.
Absolutely, and that's why I have him as a flex play.
Yeah. And you're gonna
back
play
from injury. He had 12 points.
He's
Tee Higgins. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's like saying Tee Higgins is not the same thing that it meant even a year and a half ago.
Where did you rank Devonta Smith last week?
Me?
Top 20. But you were top 21, right? When you had last week, and you hadn't seen it yet. But you were just like, he's Devonta Smith. and it doesn't matter. He's the number 2.
We'd seen it more from
21
Devontae Smith than Tee Higgins.
Yeah, we've definitely seen it more from Devontae.
Okay.
Hold on.
I mean, you can smile all you want. It's not the best comp.
Okay, I don't know what else to tell you. It's Tee Higgins in the shootout, and he's the second with one of the best offenses in the league. I think that Devontae Smith is the second receiver and one of the best offenses in the league. That's why I have him high. Like,
I had Devontae Smith 38. I had him 38 last week.
No, I was talking to Mason.
Yeah.
I knew you had him low and you were wrong. But just
I was definitely wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll keep ranking these guys where I think they're going to finish until they prove me wrong, and then I will happily admit that I am off base.
All right. Okay. So Olave, you haven't seen it, but you have him high. So.
But it's the consistency and it's the work, right? Olave's gotten you. He's still getting you 14 points. That's what I'm saying. Higgins hasn't done that.
Yeah,
Higgins is getting last week.
Okay, cool. He got you like 8 the past 3 weeks, and he got you 4 targets each of those weeks.
Yeah, I think the Olave does have the targets to back it up at least. Higgins doesn't, and he's been injured. I think he's trending in the right direction. 17 is just bold. We can move on.
Listen, Higgins. All I'll say is Higgins has murdered you every week except for 1, maybe 2.
Yeah. Well, I probably wasn't playing when he had broken ribs. I played him last week. He got me 12.
What a pullback from like preseason. Get out of here. Yeah. Can we beat Alex?
Yeah, when he broke his ribs, I stopped playing.
This has got to be a shot bet then. We got to have a shot bet on this.
Of what?
We've spent too much time.
You have a 37, so 27 to push. Okay, 27 to push. I have
27 to push.
Okay, come on. Cool. And I'll actually put it in my live doc this time. I'm writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right, and I'm like right there, so I'm not going to jump in on this. All right, let's move on to DJ Moore. This isn't super crazy, but it's right in that flex territory. Davis, I don't know where you have him off the top of my head. I didn't get to him that for you yet, but I have him at 29. Alex has him at 22. You have him at?
Hold on, I had it. I have him at 23.
Okay, so this isn't that crazy.
No, but it's interesting because the Saints haven't been great defensively, but you're still, and DJ Moore has been good, but you're still looking at him getting Marshawn Lattimore and having
that's my big
Agent
yeah.
to him. Agent,
yeah. Okay. Agent plus Lattimore make me think that you don't need to even, you could flex him, but you're taking a big risk.
Yeah.
It's Lattimore. I don't think Lattimore shadowed often. He only shadowed Evans. I think you see DJ Moore in the slot quite a bit.
And Alontae Taylor's been playing where you run into trouble is Paulson Adebo, which is I think more slot, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think he's moving into. I think he runs a lot of routes. He did it with the Panthers too. Like he comes into the slot a ton. A lot of motion with DJ Moore. He's really, really good pre-snap. So I just don't. And granted, it's Eberflus. I have no freaking idea how they use him. I just know. I just think they're going to play him out of the slot a lot, which is what I would do. Which I'm just a guy. I don't know.
He's not going to kill you. But the past 3 weeks he's not been great, and 2 of those have been with teabag.
Should have seen that for a mile away.
I heard somebody else call him teabag, and it's too good. So I had to throw it out there. 10.1, 13.4, and 9.5. So he's not going to kill you, but I think that's where what you're going to get, especially against this New Orleans defense. And maybe it's Tyler Bagent 2 or whatever his name is. I'm not a fan.
He's sure been better than Tee Higgins.
Wait, was he better than Higgins last week?
Significantly. Well, maybe he missed by 2.
No, they actually Tee Higgins outscored him by 1.5 points.
Oh wow!
All right, sorry. Last week, that's worth ranking him in the top 20.
I love it. All right, let's move on to Tank Dell. I have him real low. Alex has him as a flex play, and I don't know what Davis. I'm caught up.
I'm at 36.
Okay, so you and I are closer.
Yeah, it's definitely still like, hey, this is really good earlier in the year.
This is a big turnaround for you, Alex. You were just diminishing him earlier this week, and now you have him as a flex play. What gives?
I was just saying that I still think the talent's there. I'm just saying that I overranked him like last week. I think I had him like a top 20. I still think he's super talented. I think that offense is going to get it together. I think Evero just came with an insanely good plan. And quietly, Troy Hill on the Panthers is one of the best slot corners in the league by the numbers. So I don't think you get that. You're not getting Winfield Jr. You're not getting Carlton Davis that are playing on the outside. Tank Dell's going to be primarily in the slot. I think that you see a lot of usage with him because I don't think that Nico necessarily gets the amount of volume that you would expect.
Well, we're good to that too. You have him ranked wildly high.
Yeah,
for that statement. For the statement you just played, you have him 15.
I'm saying I don't think that he gets. I know. I don't think he gets like all like he's. It's been like back and forth. It's been like Nico 30 points and Dell 30 points and Nico 30 points, and I think it's more evened out than that. And you're probably going to look at 10 targets for Nico, and you're probably going to get 7 targets or 8 targets for Dell, and they ain't going to be able to run the ball because they can't run the ball anyways. And Tampa Bay is one of the best run defense teams.
Sure.
As long as Vita Vea plays, but Vita Vea didn't play last week, so hopefully he plays this week.
Yeah, I just it's kind of one of those things. Dell, I need to see it again before I trust it, and so I've got him outside the flex consideration, and that's flex consideration. You get to what like if you're in a 12 team to like 36. That's mental math. So I've got him outside. I just need to see it. He hasn't done it since before his injury, and that was week 5. Yeah, so I need to see it again.
Where do you guys have Cooper Kupp? Because we haven't seen Cooper Kupp for a while, and I feel like all we've been saying is we need to see it. And like I'm top 10 on Cooper Kupp, and I haven't seen it in like a while.
Yeah, but because there's history there,
there's history. Tee Higgins.
There's not the same kind of history.
You can't compare Tee Higgins
and Nico Collins. Yeah. We have history at all these.
Nico just broke out this year. How are you comparing Nico to Cooper Kupp? This is wild. This is wild.
Cooper Kupp's had one good game since the middle of last season.
Because he's been hurt. He didn't play.
Oh wait, so Higgins was hurt.
Higgins missed one game and it's been trash the rest.
It's this weird thing that we keep on saying. Like I gotta see it. We've seen one good game from Cooper Kupp in a year.
That's valid.
Is 1, 2? I mean, his first 2 games: 19.8, 27.8, and then 6.9, 6.1.
Yeah. Higgins has not come close to any of that. So let's not bring Higgins into a Cooper Kupp.
It's just weird that we keep on saying we have to see it, and then
Alex, how are you sitting there smiling so smugly when you're comparing Cooper Kupp, Tee Higgins, Tank Dell, and Nico Collins? That's outrageous.
Because we've seen the same amount of games.
Hall of Fame wide receiver. You know what you're supposed to get. Now the question with Cooper Kupp is: does Stafford play?
No.
And then do you still have him? Because to your point, I have him. I think 8th. Because I didn't know what else to do with him.
Well, we haven't seen it lately. He's got a backup quarterback. It's just like we have to see it thing. It's just such an easy thing to say. Like we have to see it with the love.
When it disagrees with you, when it disagrees with your point,
I never say that unless it's like they haven't done it for 10 weeks.
This is we got to move on. I'm gonna.
Tee Higgins for 10 weeks.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
It just seems like that we say this.
It's fun being a part of this.
So what you're saying is we say it. You don't say it, evidently.
Yeah,
I don't.
Anyway, Cooper. But I mean, who else do you play over him?
I'm using Cooper Kupp as an example because we're saying
that's a bad example. That's precisely what we're saying.
Okay, all right.
It's not bad. It's not a bad point. It's just comparing him to Nico Collins and Tank Dell and Tee Higgins is a different stratosphere.
Okay.
Stafford also went up against the Cowboys and broke in, like his thumb got dislodged last week. Like that has something to do with it. Let's go on to Pop Douglas.
Oh,
I have him at 41. Alex has him at 31, and Davis has him at.
Where do I have him?
Alex, I actually don't hate this. Oh, I actually don't hate this, but I want you to talk me into it.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead. Al. Who do you want talking into? Alex?
Pop Douglas.
Yeah, that secondary in Washington, the whole defense is going to suffer with Sweat and Chase Young going down. Yeah. They're not going to get a pass rush. Mac Jones is going to be able to just sit there and screen them to death with no actual real pass rush. Yeah, that secondary has been that good. They just let the Eagles put 38 against some huge
38 or 41, I think.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne's out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick Bourne. it's just like there's nobody else there really to catch passes. I mean, I actually do like Boot. I think that he might step up in this game. They might use him a little bit. But I think you're going to see a lot of Pop Douglas, and I think you're going to see a lot of Ramondre Stevenson, and maybe a little Hunter Henry, because I think they're going to try to keep this. They're going to try to keep this game real simple because they're just the better team in this matchup, and they're at home, and they don't want Mac Jones turning the ball over. So I think you're going to see a lot of short passes to Pop Douglas.
Yeah, I have him in my flex in our 3 wide receiver league. I have him over Rashid Shaheed. What do you guys think about that? Would you play Pop over Shaheed?
Yes.
I think it depends on what you need. If you need the high ceiling, then I'd probably play Shaheed. Like if you're got a bad bye week and you know you got to have somebody pop for 25 points, I don't know that Pop is going to pop for that. But if you're looking for a floor, I don't hate that.
Yeah, I was looking for a floor, and Alex, you don't have to answer this question because I'm playing against you. All of my starters are in this week, so he's the only one. I'm missing Kirk, so I'm throwing him in for Kirk. But I also have Mingo, I have Roshan Johnson, and Shaheed. I just think his floor is going to be nice. I think he's going to get a lot of targets because Warren is out. So that's why I have him in.
As long as he doesn't fumble, then Bill Belichick won't play him for 3 games.
That is accurate.
All right, let's move on to the aforementioned Nico Collins. Davis and I have him at 20. I have him at 31. Davis at 27. Alex has him at 15. Yeah. The talent is there. And he's done it some this week or some this year, but it's been inconsistent recently.
Yeah. You can. They're not going to be able to run the ball. They're going to move it somehow. And I don't think that I like Schultz this week to an extent, just because I think they passed the ball 40 times. I think they're going to pass the ball so many times, and I think there's going to be just targets to go around. And Noah Brown, it was a cute story like last week, but he's just not. That's not the guy. So you got basically your targets funneling through 3 guys, and that's going to be Dell, Nico Collins, and Schultz. And I think that Tampa Bay likes to take chances, and I think that Nico Collins can get behind the defense for one. I could see a 50-yard touchdown for Nico Collins.
Yeah,
and that makes his whole day.
Yeah, totally. My concern with Houston. Sorry, Mace, I'll run over you. Is that Stroud's hitting the rookie wall right now, where he's been good, and they've kind of tightened the leash on him a little bit. He's when he had his big game against Indianapolis, he had 47 pass attempts. He's not had anything higher, really, than 30 since then. He had 135 against Atlanta. Everything else has been below that. So I think the Tampa offense have to throw. But my question is more whether, is Stroud kind of in that learning bit where offense is easy, and then suddenly everybody figures out what he does. We see every rookie quarterback do this just about, except for like Mahomes.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, that's the only reason I have him lower than I like. I like Nico Collins.
I do too.
I think he's great, but I just worry that offense is sputtering right now.
His targets are not there the past 3 weeks. It's like 6, 6, and 4, something like that. And I think, Alex, I don't disagree. I think they should be passing to them more, but the history in the past few games is not trending that way. You are correct in that you can't run on Tampa Bay very well, so they should air it out. I just, even in some of these games in the past couple of weeks where they should have also done that, I don't know.
They should have ran against Panthers, and I think they tried to, and they just.
That was the whole shot bet, is that they should have, but they didn't.
Well, they
effectively.
Tried. They just effectively they couldn't run the ball, which is. I don't think that's going to be the Panthers this week. I think the Panthers are going to get thrown on like crazy this week.
Yeah.
But I can believe. I know I bet against them to not run very well. As far as fantasy points, because I think they're going to get passing yards. But I do think they would be able to establish a run against the Panthers. If you can't establish a run against the Panthers, you ain't going to do it against Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this offense just sucks. I don't know. Well, I'm nervous. I want to see Nico go for his 35.8 or the 27.6 from earlier in the year.
We need to see it. We just need to see it again.
We do need to see it because when he's got good targets, he does stuff with it. He's not gotten good targets since week 4, so that makes me nervous.
I wonder if Woods, because last year, when I was watching before this year, Thielen did a lot of stuff for Justin Jefferson to get Jefferson like these really good looks. I wonder if Woods was doing kind of the same thing, and I wonder if they're dependent on Woods. I kind of want to dig more into that. He might be really more important.
Is he playing this week or no?
He hasn't been ruled out yet. I assume he's playing because I don't think he had a lingering injury. I think it might have even been an illness that he had last year.
I haven't looked into that one.
But I think I just want to look into it because that would make a lot more sense than they just decided to be bad again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alrighty. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to get to doing the game previews this week. We might be able to run through it real fast. Let's move on to tight end, shall we?
Yep.
All right.
Jace.
So you guys were big on McBride this week. I'm a little more hesitant. Dave's had him at 7, you have him at 9, and I have him at 14. Again, this comes down to the defense they're playing, and I know the Browns haven't been as good the past couple of weeks, but we're talking about who the fuck knows is going to be throwing the ball, and if there's any connection with McBride and the drunk baby. But I don't know. I'm a little more hesitant than putting him in the top 10 guy.
I think it's just opportunity, and who else is there?
Yeah, volume.
Top 10 this week could be 8 points.
Sure.
Which it really hurts my feelings to say, but are you playing him over Cole Kmet?
Yes.
Are you playing him over?
No, I'm playing Kmet right now.
Against the Saints?
Yeah, I think I have him over him right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I see. Kmet is not my favorite guy to put any sort of faith in, especially with the
I know
the quarterback situation.
But that's kind of the point, is that there's no favorite guys. I mean, basically you get through Goddard and then it's like IDK.
I have Taysom. That's the other guy I have written down here. So you guys have Taysom at 16 and 15. I have him at 8.
It's just such a coin flip, man.
Absolutely. And I was the one who was banging that drum earlier this week. But when you look at the position in a week that's so devastated with that upside, I had to move him up because he is such a gadget guy. And it absolutely is a coin flip. And he's had 2 good weeks in a row, and it makes me super nervous to bank on Taysom Hill 3 weeks in a row. But with how depleted tight end is this week, I know McBride's had 1 good fucking game, and I'm like, he's going to have a new quarterback throwing to him. Yes, the talent's there, and I think eventually that is a good connection, but I'm not willing to bank on that just yet.
Yeah, man, he did look good though.
He looked great. 14 targets.
14 targets. Yeah, it's crazy.
Where has he been? Like where? I get you like Zach Ertz, but like that is good. He's a good player.
Yeah, it just makes me nervous. If you want the upside, I guess that's there. There's just a lot of variables.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. Like, I go down to Kyle Pitts, and that's where I start going. Oh, I don't know. I mean, past about 9-10, it gets a little dicey for sure.
Yeah. So at this point, and because we've been kind of wishy-washy on that last bit, if you're a tight end and if you're looking for a tight end and you're stuck in that like 8 to 15 range, you go for either opportunity, like who's going to get the most targets, or praying for a touchdown, and that's where you start looking at like he already played, but like the Chico Conquos, that's why I had him at 15. Is like maybe he gets a touchdown. He didn't, that I'm aware of, but that's kind of what you're looking for.
Targets, though, man.
He got some targets yesterday.
Kyle Phillips too, man. Freaking just dropped him. In Dynasty, not in.
That's why I keep saying we need to have a who did Alex drop lately.
Yes, exactly. Every freaking time. I've been holding this kid since he was on IR, and I finally dropped him this week.
That's funny.
So annoying.
All right, we can move on to tight end. There's really not much there. Quarterback. We have the one that I really want to talk about is we're not like crazy all over the place with, but I think worth talking about is Dak Prescott. I have him at 8. Alex, you have him at
7.
And Davis, you were at 12, I think, something like that.
I have a 9.
Oh, really?
So I'm top 10 on him.
You're the one that I'm looking at right here says 11.
I hope I sent you the right one because I have a 9. Unless you're mixing up Gardner Minshew and Dak Prescott again, which always happens.
So you have
9 and 11. It's
Either way,
okay.
I mean, it's still a lot better.
The reason I thought you were 11 because like a 10 team or 12 team, that's like borderline.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going up against that Eagles secondary that's been not good.
Yeah, you could throw on him.
Sam
So
30 points against that secondary.
I have Justin Herbert going up against the Jets, who are very good, and then I have Dak going up against the Eagles, who are not very good against the pass. So I'm like, man, everything logic says Justin Herbert, but matchup says Dak.
Yeah.
So I think
the Chargers are just going to have the ball more. I think there's going to be a lot more opportunity for Herbert to do
Dice him
Herbert
up.
things.
Yeah, maybe.
The logic is the more the offense has the ball, the worse the defense plays, right? And
Sure.
I don't trust that Jets offense to keep the ball more than 10 plays at very most.
Well, the problem is
2
that
drives this game.
They have maybe the worst defense all around in the league.
Yeah, so it's quick. It's quick. Just quick turnover. Get the ball back to Justin.
Yeah, I have him right above Dak right now. So I've been trying to shop him. So if you guys are interested,
I think
Alex,
Dak, he's too. I can't. Let me think about this game. One games that Dallas has that he hasn't been good has been Dallas has defensive points, right? Because then they get into their game script goes into running the ball and all that kind of stuff. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to turn the ball over very much, and they're going to score. It's not like that the Eagles won't score. So what do I think Tony Pollard's going to go off this game? Like, I think it has. The only thing I can think of is the offense runs through Dak, and he's either going to he's just going to shit on himself and like not do anything, and then just get benched, or he's going to have a good game. I think those are the only 2 options, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I've been shopping him. I thought about shopping him to you because you could have that stack.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Maybe.
Alex's favorite word.
Ooh, let's actually maybe they've already had their bye. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't know if I don't know if you want to give up what I would want. We can talk.
We can talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk.
But yeah, I think that's all we got. CJ, I think CJ Stroud, since we kind of talked about the Houston Texans a lot, we may have been a little bit, well, I think honestly we all have him around like 12 to 14.
Yeah.
I have him at 11.
I have a 9.
Yeah.
Derek Carr, top 10 play.
I have Derek Carr at 12, so
I'm an 11.
You know what? Okay, one guy I want to talk about real quick. Baker Mayfield has had 2 bad games, and only one under double digits. I think he had like a 10 point something. Let me just look it up real quick. But he's been pretty reliable.
Okay, yeah, I've got it pulled up. He had 9.2 against Philly and 6.6 against Detroit. Everything else has been over 15 points.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad.
He does not want to stay in the pocket. He wants to run as soon as he can.
He's got places to be.
Yeah, he's like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and he just takes off. He just gets and just takes off, which is bad.
He'll just bomb one to Evans, and yeah.
For normal football, it's bad. Like they lose, but he gets you a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. He's actually serviceable.
Yeah, I'm starting him in a league for sure.
Are you?
Yeah, mostly because Trevor Lawrence is on a bye and Anthony Richardson's hurt in my dynasty league, so that was the best.
No, I would not.
I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think you could potentially play Bryce Young and Gardner Minshew.
Bryce ranked a little bit higher. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like Bryce this week.
I have Bryce at 16. I wanted to get him higher, but I was like, I just
need to see it.
I do need to see it.
I'm at 13. Why do you guys hate your quarterback?
I think you're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a big Chuba game.
Chubber?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna try to establish a run because they're going to keep Indy off the field. Because if Indy gets rolling, you don't want that to happen. So you want to
do not play Geno Smith. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Geno that Ravens defense. That Ravens defense is legit.
Yeah.
And you can. That was part of the reason that I had Walker a little higher. That's the way you can beat them is on the ground. But their secondary is pretty stacked.
Yeah, I've got the Seahawks receivers down a little bit because of that.
I do too. Yeah. Alrighty.
Should we talk kickers, or are we going to let that go?
Don't do this to me.
Oh man! Did anybody pick up Patterson? I need to see if he's still there.
I got my eye on a couple people. We'll see. I'm a little scared.
Kickers?
I'm scared about that.
Are you actually talking about kickers right now?
Oh wait, Lions are off this week, right?
This is an overall point that I'm a little scared about that Germany game Sunday at 9:30. It just feels anytime they travel overseas and it's the first game for each feels weird.
Yeah.
Like you saw Jacksonville beat down on Buffalo because they'd been sitting over there for 2 weeks. They were used to it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's
Buffalo. Buffalo's not that good.
Weird things.
Tyreek against his old team though.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for that dude.
Is it really a revenge game if it's not an Arrowhead though? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, because he's still playing against his team. He doesn't give a fuck about the German fans. He wants to beat that team.
And Ramsey's playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't he back last week?
He was back last week.
I think was he full-time participant last week?
I think so.
Oh, nice.
Tyreek Hill will burn the shit out of Ramsey.
They play on the same team.
Oh, God, I'm such an idiot.
Wait till you hear what he'll do against Eli Apple.
My brain just went. I gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta get to work. Jesus Christ!
All right, that's a good.
Are we gonna do a shot bet? I feel like we should do a shot bet on something. You guys,
I've got one with Alex on Tee Higgins. I'm happy to make one with you too.
I feel like we need to do a Nico Collins. We talked so much about Tank Dell and Nico Collins. I think Alex and I were way different on Dell. 39 and 26. What was your Nico? 14? 15? All right, I'm 31.
Oh, that's a perfect one.
That's what we should do.
So
yeah, you're doing it.
I'm talking
23 or 24. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's 24 and up, and I'm 23.
Yeah.
All right, so 23 is a push?
No.
23 and a half. It would have to be 23 and a half.
23 and a half. So
okay.
Below 24 is for me, and above 23 for you.
All right. So yeah. So is he a wide receiver too?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Shot bet. And the thing is, like, his talent's there. Just because the ranking, I could see it happening. I just need to see it this week.
I gotta say, I am way more excited about rolling into a shot bet with Nico Collins and Tee Higgins than I was last week with Bryce Young.
No, this one, I don't feel super confident about this one because it could happen, but that offense just doesn't look good. So we're going to roll with it.
I feel very confident because it makes for better radio if I'm confident. So I'm very confident.
All right, Dave, you want to get one with me? I feel like what was your crazy one that you had? No, you already did one with Alex with that, didn't you?
That was the Tee Higgins.
Brian Robinson.
Oh yeah, Brian Robinson. Let's do it.
You and I and Brian Robinson because I'm low and you're high.
Yeah. Where do you have him?
23 and you have him 34.
Okay. So that's 11. So it would be 28 and a half.
It would just be 28, I think.
28's a push.
Push.
All right, 28's a push.
Okay.
I think. Am I wrong?
No, I think it's 20. Well, we'll do math on it later. Should be 29 if you have him 22.
I'm in 23.
Yeah.
It should be 5.5, so it should be a push 28. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
All right, cool. I love that. Davis and I are getting on the board against each other.
Let's do it.
Put it on the board. Whoop, can't do that. Let's get the hell out of here, huh? I have to go. Sadly, we preview. Start the guys that you think you should start. There you go. We talked a lot about the flex guys, so I feel
that was good
about it. Perfecto. Davis, do you have those all dated for us?
I did.
Good.
And I'll get them in a shared doc too.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's get the hell out of here. You know what we say at the end of every week?
You.
It's so slow. Why is it so slow?
Because I'm trying. There's like a slight delay in our camera, so cool, Davis. Thanks for fucking that up.
It's so slow.
You're slow.
That's
Bye now.